Welcome to our interview with WIU7's Human Resource Administrator, Sarah Roberts. I'm Lauren Cunningham, Curriculum Services Supervisor, and today we are here to discuss the administrative regulation for job accommodation requests. Thank you for meeting with me again, Sarah.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm happy to be here to talk about this topic today.
Great. I have to be honest in that I have never had to request a job accommodation yet in my career, so I definitely could use some help understanding the process.
Absolutely. And the most important aspect of this administrative regulation that I want to stress today is that requesting a job accommodation is an interactive process. That interactive process occurs between the employee's direct supervisor, and myself. It's not a one and done interactive process either. We continue to work with the employee to follow up and ensure their needs are being met.
That sounds like a really important aspect of this AR to stress. Can you provide an example of how this interactive process might look?
Yes. And we use the job description of the employee to determine what a reasonable job accommodation can be to support them. So let's say that an employee is suffering from migraines, for example. The employee will inform their supervisor of the need for an accommodation and then alert the Human Resources Office, providing the specific job accommodation being requested, the anticipated duration of the accommodation needed, and the supporting medical documentation that provides specific information, including any work restrictions the employee has. If I need any additional information, I will ask that of the employee, and the employee is responsible to work with the medical provider to acquire that documentation. Once we have all of the required documentation, I will talk to the employee's direct supervisor to discuss what an appropriate accommodation might entail. So for a migraine, the documentation may explain that the employee is extremely sensitive to light. The direct supervisor and I will collaborate to determine when the employee is most exposed to harsh light, and we might decide to hang items on the ceiling to cover and dim extreme light sources. Then I'll provide a written response to the employee stating if their request is approved, an alternate accommodation is approved, or if the request is denied. The direct supervisor and I will monitor the job accommodation. I always follow up at least yearly to ensure that the employee and the supervisor feel supported and have everything that they need.
Wow, that is a lot of interaction between the employee, the direct supervisor, and the HR office. It's helpful to know that this process requires the collaboration of all parties. Is there anything else related to this administrative regulation specifically that you would like employees to know?
Yes, this administrative regulation is for the employee's own health.
Okay, so I cannot request a job accommodation to take care of my sick daughter for an extended period of time.
That is correct. Job accommodation requests are for the employee's own health to ensure they have the proper support to perform their job duties with reasonable accommodations.
Can you define reasonable accommodations?
Yes. Reasonable accommodation refers to modifications or adjustments to a job, work environment, or the way things are usually done that enable a qualified individual with a disability or temporary disability to have an equal opportunity to perform job functions. The accommodation should be effective in meeting the needs of the individual and should not impose an undue hardship on the employer. This can include changes to the physical work environment, modifications to the work schedule, provision of assistive technologies, job restructuring, or other adjustments that help the individual perform their job duties.
Thank you so much. This helps me understand this AR so much better. I appreciate your time today and look forward to our next discussion.
No problem. I'm happy to help.